live.
We're live. YouTube, Periscope, Twitch. We are live. Hey, everybody. We're going to wait for everybody to start streaming in. I'm sure you already know who this is. This is Jacob Wohl. This is the famous Jacob Wohl. We're going to start seeing people's comments over here on the screen. It's going to start showing up.
You said that in a weird kind of intonation there.
Hello, fart magnets. And this is Jacob Wohl.
It's really me.
Jacob Wohl has been trending in the news this past week, past week, and many past weeks. Jacob today he held a press conference in front of his friend Jack Berkman's house. Also last week he held press conferences. He talked about some presidential candidates, and specifically today it was Kamala Harris. Last week it was Elizabeth Warren. Yes. And all right, so all right, don't pay attention to comments.
Well, people have known for a long time that Kamala Harris is basically a political prostitute. I mean, that's been well known for a very long time. She exchanges sexual favors for political advancement. And now, of course, what we know is that she had a explicit sexual affair, including the exchange of money, with her personal trainer, who we brought forward today.
How did you find, what was his, it was...
Sean knew all this, and he came to us, actually, okay. And, he's a very credible guy.
How did he find out about you guys?
Well, Project 1599 is out there, because we do things like this stream, and people know that
Is that your organization?
That's right. If people know if they have any dirt on a 2020 presidential candidate, we are the person that can vet that dirt, or the entity that can vet that dirt, and if it's credible, bring it forth to the public.
How were you able to vet Sean Weldis's dirt on Kamala Harris?
Well, he had text messages, he had, receipts, he had plane tickets, he's at the same hotel as her over and over and over again. There's, almost a dozen pictures of him training her in the gym with dumbbells and treadmills and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. Oh, you have text messages from Kamala Harris?
From her cell phone number, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you have them now? Can I see it?
They're not on my phone, but we do have them.
We have paparazzi, okay, because we're cool, okay? Mm-hmm. Don't read the comments.
Looks dark. They say it looks dark.
It looks dark? Yeah, that's from light. Twitch. That's our person from Twitch. Hey, everybody! So I promised you, last night our live stream was cut short, okay? And I felt so bad because I really, really wanted to continue. I was just like, no, I don't want it to be so short. So today I was like, I'm going to make this good. I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to make tonight's live stream good and long. We're actually running this on 5G, so we'll see how long this one will go before it shuts off. But hopefully nothing crazy will happen.
That's right. That's precisely correct. That's some more light. That's better. That's much better.
I said not to pay attention to you. But I'm kidding. I am actually paying attention to you.
I like that light. I think I look sexy in that light. That's pretty good.
You didn't expect Jacob Wohl to be on. So last night I had a live stream and it was cut really short, and it was like unexpectedly cut short, and I was like, oh no, tomorrow night will have to be really good, and it will have to be long. So by long I mean we did it really short last night.
Right.
So I was like, tonight we're gonna make it up. Tonight will be better.
And here we are. Do we know how many viewers we have so far? I don't know how to examine this.
I don't know. So we've got.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's not bad. That's pretty good.
All right. Yeah, we got a large number of viewers. We got a lot of viewers on Periscope.
Most people don't know this, but I sleep. This is my outfit. I sleep in a suit and a tie, and I wake up like this. This is just the way it goes. Nice. Sometimes I have to apply a little bit of gel, a little bit of spray. Spray is the secret. People say, how do you use your hair strap? My hair is like a helmet because I do the spray. Like Hillary, that's the secret, the spray.
Oh, wow. What kind of spray do you use?
Garnier Fructis Max Hold 5 out of 5 spray.
Oh, wow.
And it holds your hair.
My shampoo is also Garnier?
Really?
Yeah.
Because otherwise what happens is if I use just the gel, I have my hair, naturally, if it's totally wash conditioned, it's like bear fur. It's like really thick, coarse, good hair. But I can put the gel in, and it's perfect in the morning, but 6 hours later it's like my hair is like all over the place. It doesn't have a staying power. So that's where the spray comes in, and it's just critical. You spray it, you're good to go.
Nice. All right. So, yeah, I'm always looking for stuff in my hair because it usually gets frizzy if I don't do anything with it.
It's the Persian hair. It's not too different from what Kamala has, but her hair is much worse. Her hair is an Indian.
Oh
hair.
yeah, Kamala's Indian.
Her hair just frizzes out completely. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's like ballistic hair. That's really bad.
So this guy, Sean Newaldis, reached out to you guys. He said, "Hey, I know you're doing 1599 project, and I wanna come out this. Why didn't he go to the Washington Post?"
Well, because they would have run a story. It would have gotten a little bit of play, or maybe they wouldn't have. But they protect Democrats. Everyone knows that's how it works. We don't pull punches if it's a Democrat. We bring it right forward. So we could go to the Washington Post, and they probably wouldn't run it. I mean, that's the reality of this. You bring something out against a Democrat, the media doesn't talk about it. It's just the way it goes. They just don't talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, Joe Biden's on camera groping dozens of children. That's not the number one story right now.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, this guy Sean. So you saw like the text messages and everything. What were they like?
Oh, some of them were more pedestrian. They were just.
And he's
be
a
here,
personal
be there.
trainer. Like he helps like at the gym and stuff.
The gym, that's right. Yeah, and he had been with her since.
Did he say which gym?
Well, he was hired by her in June of 18, and worked with her. Their relationship was mostly professional, and then it turned really,
Is she married?
Kamala's married. She's married to a guy.
That was a dumb question.
Kamala's married to a Hollywood agent named Doug Emhoff, Jewish guy.
She's married to a Jewish guy.
Yeah,
Is he a lawyer?
White Jewish guy. He's I think he went to law school, but he's an agent of sorts, producer, agent type guy, Hollywood guy, and she doesn't have any children, no children.
Okay.
And she's a childless woman, and at her age, which is not usual for somebody in politics of her age, and she's apparently a nymphomaniac.
Okay, with younger guys.
Well, I
How
can't
old
say
is this
younger
guy?
guys. I can only speak for our client, and he's 26.
Oh wow, that's young. Okay, I'm 26.
Yeah, she's
I'm not
50
saying
something.
that
She's
I'm-
50 something.
Okay.
Yeah, 26 is young.
Okay. So this guy reaches out to you. So last week, someone reached out to you who says that he was, So last week it was Elizabeth Warren.
Well, that was a different sort of thing entirely. I mean, he worked for an escort service. He worked for several escort services, in fact. Listed through the escort service. It should be particular. To do companionship escorting services, Elizabeth Warren reached out. He took her services, and they had a long, by escort standards, long, several months long, BDSM kind of affair, where things were very violent. I mean, by his own accounts.
Did he show you proof?
Oh yeah, all kinds of proof, and he also showed us.
What kind of proof?
Well, everything between payments, receipts, Amazon, because he had to order different props for their usage toys, if you will. Additionally, I think
Like
maybe the best proof.
straps and handcuffs and stuff like that.
Well, none of that. But he had ordered things, and it's in his attestation. If people want to look up the paperwork, it's all laid out. I don't want to repeat some of these things. It's just wild stuff. But and additionally, he had scars on his back from where she had whipped him with some kind of device she was using.
So, I saw on Twitter someone posted a picture of.
That was even Will Sommer debunked that picture. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
But that was Brandy from NBC. But it was a different scar. It was down the other side of his back, and it was a long scar. And even Will Sommer said, no, these were two scars on the other side of his back that went this way. Will Sommer came here, he came inside, and personally inspected it.
Oh, in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was debunked. It was a different. Yeah, we've got another person here. I don't know if he's. It was a different scar.
Yeah, you don't have to turn the camera on me. But
Brandy's.
I'm willing to say that. Yeah, so Will Sommer jumped
Can
with
I
that
say
when he
who
saw
you
that
are?
I'm for it.
But
This is
Brandy's.
the
The
Sport
scar
Fisher.
was a different scar than was seen in the Instagram.
But Brandy.
That doesn't mean that the story is true.
I'm disappointed in Brandy
But
because
that's
she's
pretty
just
clear.
she's just shameless. She posted that. I called her. We spoke on the phone for about 20 minutes, Brandy and I. I think we enjoy a good relationship. She's you know, she comes on to me a little bit. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's
How
okay.
old is she, Brandy?
Oh, she's old enough to be my mother, I think. Yeah, she's older, but
Was she like, hey Jacob, let's have a drink?
well, she's I just, you know, I would say her tone is a little bit suggestive. That's all. I'm used to it. It's not the end of the world, but in any event, she, you know, I called her. I said, listen, this is nonsense. You got to delete this tweet and correct it. She refused to. You know, so they're shameless with the fake news they put out when you're going after a Democrat.
Oh wow, okay.
Absolutely shameless. Absolutely shameless.
And what other so before I go to those guys, so then that guy from last week, the 24-year-old, so he reached out to
Kelvin.
you guys.
Yeah.
Kelvin.
Or Ty. He goes by Ty. That's his, you know, I don't know where that comes from, but he goes by Ty, yeah.
Okay, so he was like, he reached out to you guys.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then you vetted the stuff he said.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take?
Well, in his case, it took about a month to vet everything. Not because it should take a month, but because we were busy with other things and we just we didn't get around to it. I mean, people come at us with such nonsense. I mean, really, 9.9 out of 10 stories are just bogus. We just have to throw them out. And people do it to waste our time. They do it to be cute, but it's just a lot of nonsense.
What kind of crazy stories did you guys get?
Well, I mean, I don't want to repeat these things because I'm not meaning to slander the innocent, but I mean, we get stories that, you know, Bernie Sanders had an escort in Los Angeles at the Peninsula Hotel that he saw regularly. Bullshit, nonsense, never happened. We get stories that, Joe Biden has Parkinson's disease and is on a particular drug for that, and that remains unconfirmed. I'm not going to say it's false. It remains unconfirmed. We're looking into it. But you hear crazy stuff, and so we have to vet every story. So now you've seen an example of the true, the false, and the unconfirmed, which could be true, could be false. We don't know.
So the Joe Biden story was unconfirmed?
It's unconfirmed. We're looking into it still.
And the Bernie Sanders story is
false.
Also...
It's false.
Okay.
Yeah, Bernie doesn't... there are no rumors about Bernie Sanders.
How did you determine that the Bernie Sanders one was false?
We looked at FEC expenditures, which placed him at a different hotel at that time. We went to the hotel, and we said we want camera footage. They said, oh, so sorry, we deleted after 72 hours. And we said, was Bernie Sanders here by any chance? They said, yeah, he was here. He was here on that day. I said, okay, fine, yeah. So it was nonsense. It was just made up stuff. He wasn't even at the same hotel that the person claimed.
Okay, so I've seen like conservative organizations and stuff like criticize you guys,
Like
or
who?
just being, I don't know, online. I don't know who is conservative. That
Organizations, I don't think so. I mean, the loser conservative bros criticize me. I mean, they're not organizations.
There's like the Washington Examiner.
Daily Caller.
Daily Caller.
Daily Caller.
Oh, the Daily Caller. I mean,
so what if you shared? Like,
these are lame people. I mean, you talk about. I don't even want to give them any names, but you've got a guy who's a ham radio operator in his mother's basement. You know who you are. You've got a guy. He's on the 10-meter band, I think. You've got a guy.
Wait, who?
We know who this is. I'm not gonna.
I won't say it out loud.
It's a ham radio guy. You won't say it out loud. I'll whisper it in your ear. Yeah. Yeah. He's a ham radio guy.
I know too many people.
Okay, he's a ham radio guy. And then, you know, he knows who he is. You got a guy who thinks it's funny to joke around about, oh, Sharia, oh, it's so funny. Yeah, what a butt of a joke, right? I mean, let's joke about women getting stoned and people getting beheaded and gays getting thrown off roofs. I can't think of anything funnier to joke about all day on Twitter incessantly. You got that guy. You know, you got Thatina or whatever her name is. I mean, I don't want you to say it. I don't want to give her any credit, but you've got some, you know.
No, I know who you're talking
you've
about.
Got
Washington Examiner.
I don't know who we're talking about. I'm not going to
Okay.
name names, but you've got an e-whore, you know, at the Washington Examiner or wherever she works. I don't even know. So you've got these weak people and they criticize, but these aren't even really conservatives. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you are a degenerate, decadent, gay, atheist, libertarian, you're not a conservative. Okay, by definition, you're not a conservative. I'm sorry. But if you're a degenerate, decadent, gay, libertarian atheist, you're not a conservative. I mean, sorry. I'm sorry, but you're not a conservative. All of those things are descriptors. I'm not casting aspersions about whether they're good or bad. But once again, if you're a degenerate, decadent, gay, atheist, libertarian, you're not a conservative.
So, but did they ever ask you guys, like, hey, like, did they ever reach out to you guys?
Oh, these people don't do any real journalism. I mean, that's the thing. It's such a shame because, the Daily Caller, the Washington Examiner, these outfits, they don't do any real journalism. I mean, think about it. I read one newspaper every single day since I was 6 years old. One newspaper. No matter where I move, no matter where I live, it gets tough overseas, but I use the online edition. And that newspaper is the Wall Street Journal. And I've read that paper every day since I was 6. And the reason is because the Wall Street Journal actually goes out, they put boots on the ground, as many of our friends do that are independent, and the Wall Street Journal goes out and they report. I mean, do you think you're ever going to see a report from Beirut, from the Daily Caller? Or you ever think you're going to see a report from Damascus, from the Washington Examiner? Of course not. These guys are lazy.
It's like domestic stuff.
These guys are lazy fat loads. They don't do any original reporting. They reblog stuff on their stupid website. I don't even know if they have an editor. Half the time they've got typos and all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's just, they don't do anything real. I mean, does the Washington Examiner have even pool reporters anymore? I don't even know. Probably not. I think maybe the Caller does, but that's a lame operation. That the Daily Caller put together this new website. It looks worse than it ever has. I think, would you agree? I mean,
I didn't see it. Did you see the new Daily Caller website?
I've seen it. It's despicable looking. It's horrible. Whoever designed that website needs to be...
Is it like black? I saw the new Daily Caller.
Oh, they've got some dark mode. They've got... But it's like... It looks like it was designed, no offense, was not to you, but to anybody watching. It was designed by somebody who is perhaps both autistic and dyslexic. I mean, it's really bad.
I'm not autistic.
Nor am I. Although some people think otherwise.
I'm just putting it out there.
No, we shouldn't make jokes. I mean, autism is a very serious disease. And, as much as people joke about autism, I mean, people should realize people that have real autism, it's characterized by 3 symptoms. Involuntary physical tics, struggle socializing completely, and mental retardation. I mean, it's no, this is true. I mean, this is autism as defined by the MST, and we shouldn't make light of autism. I regret
Someone
that.
is asking about a water hose.
What are they saying about the hose?
Just what was the deal with the water hose?
So
that's all I saw.
Well, some of these guys, they'll pull up in a car and they'll have loud, speakers going to try to disrupt the press conference. So we said, okay, just hose them off. At least they'll have to roll up the windows. So we had the hose ready to go. But you have some other bozo, whatever his name was, and he's, playing a Bluetooth speaker.
Like a reporter?
I don't think he was a reporter. I don't know what he was. Just some vagabond that showed up, some Nimrod, some numbskull. Okay. And he showed up and was playing some Bluetooth speaker. So, we had to threaten him with a hose. We didn't end up having to hose him.
Was it the corn guy? There was a guy dressed up as a corn cob.
I don't know where that thing came from, that meme. I really don't. But yeah, there was a guy dressed up as a corn cob.
Okay. Jacob, can I ask something quickly on the hose thing? Are you aware that, so your security guard came outside, turned the hose on, and went inside, and then one of the activists outside turned the hose off, and he was hoping that you were going to attempt to hose people and then fail because he had turned the hose off. And so I'm wondering, were you aware that the hose was off? And later, when you kind of pointed it at people, were you trying to hose people?
I wasn't gonna hose anybody. It never would have been a concern, but I wasn't gonna hose anybody. But thankfully, we have a number of. Well, I shouldn't say this, but obviously the security guard is armed, and God forbid anything got really bad, we'd be able to deal with it.
Sure, but in the much more limited, there's a huge difference between one in the chamber and water in the hose. Were you aware that the hose didn't work?
Well, I mean, if we needed to spray a car and the hose didn't work, I'm just playing through the if-then statement here because it is kind of arcane. But I suppose we would just go back down and turn it back on and then spray.
Right.
I mean, I guess that's what we would do. I just say, Lewis, hop over and turn that thing back on, and we just spray away.
Sure. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
but,
no.
that was a
No,
good-
you're not
a
interrupting.
little,
The more questions, the better.
little thing to just make a little extra sense of what happened today.
The more questions, the better. Makes
Yeah.
it the most interesting. Because I know a lot of people are interested in this live stream. A lot of people are asking questions, so that's good. And
Yes, they are. Lots of questions.
And
My
so
eyes look so dark. In real life, my eyes are much more green, aren't they?
they're. I think it's because the light is coming from up there, so it's like
They
you
look
know,
like
it's
black.
shadow.
My eyes look darker
So just
than yours.
look up. It's because I don't know why.
What do you think about the decor in this room? Is it a little...
Very nice. It's
You
very
like it?
nice decor.
It's
Too
a
bad you
little out
guys
there.
can't see it. It's a lot. It's just beautiful. The whole.
And then these kind of Amazon.com pictures here. These are good, though. These are good pictures.
Yeah, it's got the White House, the Supreme
Capitol.
Court. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Back there, something New York City, Times Square, something like that.
Yeah.
It's
and
good.
then the Capitol
Yeah.
again. Yeah, very nice. And then you got these moose faces on the wall, and deer and ram, and there's like a rhinoceros. Is that
They're
a
not
rhinoceros?
real, you pussies. They're not
No,
real.
they're not real. They're like a sculpture.
Yeah.
They're sculptures.
Although I'd be happy, you know, in my opinion, I have no problem with trophy hunting, I should say.
Like hunting animals.
Yeah, all these people say, "Oh my God, Don Jr. shot a lion," blah 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 blah. You know, here's the reality. Here's the way I look at it.
Are they gonna eat it? Is he gonna eat it?
I don't care if he eats it. Here's the way I look at it. The African tribesmen will eat it. Believe me, they're hungry, and the other so it'll feed somebody. The other thing is that, as trophy hunting, the animal's going to die at some point of old age, of being hit by a jeep in the savannah, of something. I think better the animal be memorialized and hung up on the wall than just left to rot and eat by maggots. I mean, if I were a lion, I would want to be hung on someone's wall and basically immortalized. I would want that.
Well, what about, you could say that about people, like, oh, this person's gonna die.
No, I don't think it's the same for people. I think it's creepy. You don't put a dead person on your wall, but animals are different. And, you know, I think that's one of the distinct parts of religion that, you know, religionless people typically miss is that, you know, human beings are very different from animals. Very different. There's just no comparison.
Okay.
I think that, you know, the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, whatever you want to look at, they're all very clear about that.
That humans are different.
Humans are different, right? We're the exception. Of course we're the exception. Come on. I mean, can you debate with any other species besides human? Of course not. Of course not. You can't have a conversation like
Chimps
this.
are 90%. Chimps have 98% human brain.
Oh, that's what they say, but, you know, come on.
They almost gave 2 chimps personhood rights in New York and Long Island.
Well, we have to be careful here. You can get in a very sketchy
At Hofstra
conversation very
University.
quickly. Hey, we talk about Baltimore riots. You can get into a very sketchy conversation very quickly. We have to be very careful here, Pardes.
Baltimore riots.
That's an old thing. You wouldn't. It's an internet thing.
Wait, so no, tell me. Because
No,
these people
it's
are
an
internet
old-
people.
it's-
They know.
It's an old thing. You wouldn't understand it. These people would understand, but you wouldn't.
They would know.
understand.
So tell me. So tell the people.
No,
'Cause
I'm just saying. Chimps are very different from humans.
I've got something that Pardes' audience might like this. There was a situation where a person handed an iPhone to a chimp, and the chimp managed to take a picture of itself, like a selfie, with an iPhone. And the PETA, or some other group that was like about animal rights, tried to claim that the chimp should own the copyright, not the person who owned the phone. So, should the chimpanzee, or the person who owns the phone that handed it to the chimp, own the copyright?
How did that end up working out, or has it worked out yet?
I believe the case was dismissed. I think the human being ended up actually owning the copyright. But in the eyes of I know you asked really
Should the
weird
chimp-
questions
Should
to
the
your live
chimp
streamers.
own? Should the
Should a
chimp own?
chimpanzee own a
Yeah, I just don't think
copyright.
chimps. I don't think chimps have agency. They can't.
In Argentina, there was one who Did you hear about the Argentina case that was
No.
granted personhood rights or something?
Argentina's
Is
a
it?
mess.
That's interesting though.
Yeah, so it should have been the person who owned the chimp. That's what Diacritical says. Hey, Diacritical. Says it's the person who owned the chimp. All right. My favorite thing about my live streams is sometimes people have conversations with each other, which is great.
Really?
It makes me feel so happy. It's like
Let's see here.
It's like a community. All right.
I want to be trending, Pardes. What can we do to go trending here?
Okay, so
If I'm not trending, I'm not happy. It's like I have. It's
we
a
have to make
chase.
this trendy.
That
It's
would
like-
explain a
You have
lot.
to
It's
say
like a
something
first
crazy.
high. It's like once you get trending, you have to go back to it. It's just.
Right. I want to be trending. I don't know about you guys. There's somebody else just agreed with me.
Somebody tweeted my quote about the lion. That's great.
Okay. So have these people gotten in trouble? Like, so these guys who accused Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren, when they went home, like, what are their lives looking like? Are they getting in trouble with people? Are they getting, what kind of, are they receiving
No, it's
backlash?
back to normal. I mean, this guy's going to be another, you know, he's going to get back to personal training. That's a horrible picture Ford posted. It's very bad. He posted a horrible picture.
Which one? I'm so
Some
sorry.
picture of us. It was a horrible.
A picture of me?
The
Do
one
I
that says
look
right
bad?
now, Pardes.
I don't know. Whatever it was.
I
Us,
have
us
to
sitting
see it.
here.
I
It's
have
just
to see
bad.
it.
Just take a new one. Just take a new one where we're actually.
Wait, do I look good?
It was horrible. It was horrific.
If
You
I
should
look
delete it.
bad, then it's a
3,
bad picture.
2,
Wait.
Just make it look.
Wait, can you make sure? Thank you, Alex!
3, 2. All right.
That's better. That'll work.
Okay.
Anyhow,
Just make sure
back
I
to the
look
stream.
good.
We're
Make sure I look good.
we're being unattentive here.
If I don't look good, just keep taking it.
Let me ask you
Just
a question.
even like when we're not paying
Pardes,
attention.
let me ask you a
just-
question. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If you're a degenerate, decadent, gay, atheist, libertarian, are you a conservative?
Well, decadent, degenerate, gay, atheist, libertarian. So libertarian you can control because you're like, it's your ideology. Atheism is your ideology, so you
You can basically control all those things, right? I mean,
Well,
let's
you
be
can't
honest.
control the gayness.
Well, you actually, you'd be surprised. You get varying accounts on that. I mean, you know, my friend who we were just at with the Trump Hotel, he's a gay guy, you know, and he's a high level gay guy. He's high level gay in terms of the Republican Party.
Was it Zach?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, a different guy. But I won't say his name, and you know, he would tell you it's a choice, 100%. Another guy I talked to will say, no, I was born this way. So it's hard to decide. I would say probably 70-30 people say
Maybe
it's a
the
choice.
first guy was bi, and the second guy.
70-30 people tell me it's a choice.
Interesting.
so
70
I
to 30
wouldn't-
gay people?
Yeah, 70% versus 30%. 70% say it's a choice.
Okay.
That I
The
know.
70 versus 30 of gay people.
70% of the gays I know say
because-
it's a choice.
Okay. So basically.
And I just take them at their word. I mean, I don't doubt them or whatever.
I mean, a lot of gay people I know, it's like, even if they don't say they're gay, or they don't even identify as gay in any way, it's like, this is very obvious. Because it's like
well, sometimes
it's like you're gay.
sometimes people effectuate. I mean, they effectuate the different, you know, the different features. But that's all, you know, sociability related. That's not something you could experiment with because it's not hard and fast, right?
So what about like Milo Yiannopoulos? Is he gay?
Well, Milo's gay.
I mean,
certainly.
is he conservative? That's what I meant.
Is Milo Yiannopoulos conservative? Yeah, he's a real conservative. I remember I was talking to Milo. I shouldn't.
But he's married to a man.
I should not reveal our conversations, but I have to reveal this. I was talking to Milo recently, and I said, this guy will back events, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he could back our event. He said, put me in touch. And I said, well, Milo, you should know he's militant anti-gay. Militant. And he said, oh, good, me too.
But he was joking.
No, he's serious. He's dead serious.
He hates gay people.
He hates gays more than anyone.
But he's gay.
But he hates the gays more than anyone. The gays. He hates them
Maybe
more than
he
anyone.
hates the gay. What do you call it? The.
Well, I think we should
institutionalized-
be clear. There is an institutionalized radical homosexual movement in this country, in the Western world. This is not something that's controversial. It's, hey, you're gay, whatever, do what you want, versus,
It's like being spiritual but not religious. It's like,
listen,
I believe the same thing, but I don't want to like.
it's
be
a very real thing. It's a very real thing. They have a very real agenda. They, you know, and how does it play itself out? Well, it's like, okay, let's put one gay character in the movie versus let's make every character gay in the movie. I mean, that's one such instance. But it's okay, we're gay, let's have fun, let's have a pride parade, let's wave our rainbow flags versus let's wear a Speedo and, you know, put a 9-year-old on our shoulders. Different thing. And I think that, you know, on balance, the radical homosexual movement in this country is on balance a negative thing. There are some positives, but on average, it's a negative thing for the
Have
country.
you met Milo's? I've never met Milo's husband. Have you met
I
him?
haven't, and I don't think very many people have.
Okay, is he like he's like very hidden?
Yeah, he's a private
Okay.
person, as I understand it.
Okay, so most gay conservatives, do they hate gays?
I don't know. I haven't
Because
actually
it's
asked.
like if you're gay and you hate gay people, so it's like, but every gay person that's not me.
Right. Well, I mean,
But
think...
it's more like they don't hate gays. They're not anti-gay in that case. They're just anti. They're not anti-gay then. They're just anti a group of gay people.
Yeah,
who are political.
I think
they're
most...
anti-political gay.
I mean, people forget, just 10 years ago in California, every suburban Californian hung a sign that said no on Prop 8. Prop 8 was gay marriage.
Okay.
I mean, every suburban house had a sign in front that said no on Prop 8. And California, as a ballot measure, rejected gay marriage. It's only 10 years ago.
Was it no or yes?
I think it was
Yes on Prop 8?
yes on Prop 8 would have been legalized gay marriage, I believe.
Wait, I think it was yes on Prop 8 because I'm from California and
I remember too. I was in California.
you're
forget.
from California.
It was,
We're both from
yeah,
California.
it was Prop 8.
Yeah.
It was Prop 8. But
It was
anyhow,
Prop 8.
everybody was against it, and California voted against gay marriage.
Voted against. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah. And then the Supreme Court legalized it, and from there it's been a downhill spiral of a cacophony of sexual nonsense.
So
I mean, so like, I'll be very clear, right? This is not a controversial position. If you insist you're transgender, fine. But it's not a real thing. And I'm not going to pretend it's a real thing, and I'm not going to pretend the fact that, when I was in middle school, okay, there was no trannies in the middle school. Zero. None. My sister's in middle school a decade later, younger sister, and there's a couple dozen. Same size middle school.
Do you have a lot of siblings?
I do. And why is that? It's because it's trendy. I mean, let's not pretend that this is a biological occurrence that just, something changed, this distance of the sun, and all of a sudden the genes are being expressed. Give me a break, folks. I mean, this is nonsense. This is all part of...
Would you say, what's her, Blair White. Have you heard of Blair White?
The name sounds familiar, but I can't say I'm familiar.
Transgender conservative. She, I have to
That's
show you a
wild
picture.
stuff.
Do you have a picture?
I'm not familiar,
I know
but...
who you're
Oh,
talking
now
about.
is it a
Yeah.
YouTube person?
She's
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
MAGA
YouTuber,
Okay.
woman.
YouTuber,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Conservative?
I don't know. I would just pray for her. What more can you do?
Okay. And then so you seem to be actually really cool with all, like, with the backlash. You seem to be like, okay, this is fine. I know what I'm doing.
Well, I don't need anything. I don't need to be invited anywhere. I can crop up. I can do a speaking gig in Miami and have 200 people show up and make a couple, tens of thousands of dollars. So I don't need the system. I don't need some organization that's vanilla to invite me.
I mean, you're helping me get.
I don't need to be an ambassador for some, lame organization. It's just not. It's not in my DNA. It's not what I'm all about. And so, what do I need? I mean, why would I care about backlash?
So were you in that picture with what's her name?
Kathy Zhu, Ashley St. Clair.
Ashley St. Clair.
I was in all of those
what
pictures.
do you think of that? That Ashley got
What do I think? I think Charlie.
Ashley,
I think
so
I'll
Ashley
tell you what I
St.
think.
Clair, she was a girl. I don't even know how to describe her. She was a TPUSA ambassador, so she was in a picture with a bunch of people, and then she got fired.
I think Charlie Kirk is an insufferably weak pussy, is what I think.
Why did they fire her? They fired her because...
They fired her because they're insufferably weak, and
they hired somebody else.
Ashley is a lovely gal. She's ideologically speaking absolutely on board. I can say this for sure with what TPUSA is all about. I mean, I was in an Uber. I was in the front, and her and Nick Fuentes were in the back, or maybe she was in the middle, and I was on the.
Was she getting?
No, we were in the
along
back.
with Nick?
And the two of them argued for 45 minutes straight while we were in the car. They did not stop arguing the entire time. They agreed on absolutely nothing. I mean, Ashley probably has more agreements on politics with Ellen DeGeneres than she does Nick Fuentes. But she took a picture. And so it's like you see these two TPUSA people and they say, we're anti-censorship. We're pro-free speech. But don't take a picture with Nick. God forbid you take a picture at a party with somebody. We'll fire you. By the way, they don't pay those ambassadors anything. So, I mean, what are you really losing? Okay? Seriously, what are you really losing?
Did they really hire, they hired another person?
I don't know. I don't want to speak about other people.
Okay.
Because I don't know. But I only know this situation, and I was on the inside, and I understand it in real time. And this is absolute weak, pussy-footed nonsense. Turning Points USA and Charlie Kirk, who's planning to leave the organization, by the way, coming up pretty soon. Charlie Kirk's planning to leave Turning Points. That's an exclusive. That's an exclusive. You guys can take that.
Well, who would be...
I don't know. I don't know who's replacing him, but he's planning to leave. He's planning to step down. He's already talked about that with the board. And I think that's good because Charlie Kirk doesn't have the constitution to do that. He's a weak person. He's got no gut. He's got no balls. He's a eunuch. And he takes orders from Jared Holt and Right Wing Watch.
So who do you think will take over?
I have no clue. Honestly, I'm not familiar with the hierarchy there or how that would work, and I'm sure it's all arranged. But I can tell you exclusively that Charlie Kirk is planning to step down.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you how? How do you know that?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
somebody on the
this
board.
and that.
Somebody on the board told me. That's all.
Okay.
Somebody I know who's on the board.
Okay. Cool.
Big donor.
Can I give a tough question?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you can ask questions.
So, Baked Alaska and Nick Fuentes were both in that photo, who I filmed in Charlottesville, and both of those people were present. Do you have any?
So let's talk about that. I'll tell you the backstory. So
a lot of people brought that up on Twitter.
We're getting good what?
No, nothing. Continue.
So, everyone knows I'm Jewish. I'm a Zionist Jew, proud Jew. I met Baked Alaska in 2016, mid-2016. I lived in Hollywood Hills. I used to host big parties at my home, 300, 400 people. You can ask him about it. And somebody, actually Michael Coudray.
I think I've seen
Coudray,
that with a CH.
Mike, formerly known as Mike Tokes, brought Baked to one of my parties.
Okay, I'll ask you later.
And I would just ask him. I'm not going to get into it, but he brought Baked to my party. Really cool guy. We hit it off. We partied a bunch. We had fun. We used to hang out. He used to play video games with my business partner for like hours on end. And just a really cool guy. Absolutely not a racist. I mean, it's funny, in our little friend group, my business partner was half Korean. I'm a Jewish Zionist. You have Baked. And then our other friend was a black dude. And a really black dude from Alaska as well, by the way. And it's like, the guy's not a racist. Was he an internet troll? Sure. And I think he said as much, but absolutely not racist. It's ridiculous to say the guy's racist. And I've known him. He actually really got me into Twitter. He said, you got to start a Twitter. You'd have good commentary. And sure enough, started a Twitter, got retweeted by the president. Next thing you know, I had 200,000 followers.
Wow. Do you ever try to get back on Twitter?
No, I tried it once as an experiment, like back in April. I said, let's just make a Jacob Wohl Twitter account. And it was banned within 52 minutes. And people were like, you could use a VPN and blah, 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 and do this. I'm like, no, but the whole point is it would be me, right? If it's not me, then what's the point? Like, I'm not interested in tweeting as, like, Patriot9976. Like, I get it. I could do a VPN and all that stuff. I'm not interested.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the whole point. It's the Jacob
Yeah,
Wohl.
it's me. So I have my Instagram. I have my Telegram, t.me/Jacob A. Wohl. I've had a lot of fun with Telegram. You know what's interesting is I spent most of the summer in Ukraine, and
really,
yeah,
what was going on there?
Oh, just boring consulting work. But in Ukraine, Telegram is huge. In Eastern Europe and Asia, Telegram is enormous. It's ubiquitous. They don't use Twitter; they use Telegram, and I mean right down to like local news and weather and traffic. Like we think of Channel 5 or whatever. They have that is on Telegram, and there's 40,000 followers on the channel. So like, what I would say is that if Telegram here becomes just because it's a functional app. They could add a few features that make it a little easier, but it works. It's reliable, at least. If Telegram becomes 1/5 as popular as it is in Eastern Europe, it will surpass Twitter. It'll be the platform. So
wow, okay.
We can only hope.
Wow, I mean, I should definitely go and check Telegram more because I never.
You know what I like about it is it's a one-stop shop. I can call my mom on an encrypted line from overseas. I can do a group chat. I can do my channel. I can view other channels all in one place. So it's kind of handy. It doesn't take up very much data, so that's nice. And they run a good operation.
Cool. And then so you mentioned you were in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
So was that happening? When was the Trump-Ukraine stuff going on? What did you think about all that?
Well, I was in Ukraine from July 3rd to August 24th.
Okay, so this happened afterwards.
The Ukraine stuff broke just when I got back, and my mom was like, "What the hell were you doing over there? Did you have something to do with all this?" I said, "Don't worry about it, Mom, even if I did."
Even if you did?
Yeah, but there is no Ukraine scandal. I mean, I was investigating Biden. That was part of what I was doing over there. But like as far as Trump, working very closely in terms of Giuliani's efforts.
Why were you investigating Biden and Ukraine?
Because there was things that Biden did over there that were very illicit, and I interviewed the prosecutor that was set to charge Biden's son, Victor Shokin.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of wild because it was just a very interesting story. I mean, I almost got killed over there, but I made it back. And
really?
Yeah. So we'll get into that story sometime later. But
no, this is so interesting.
I mean, let's just put it this way. Between the scar on my wrist, which we can't talk about at a different date, but I was over there and I was approached by cops and they said, "Listen, we're going to plant drugs on you and take you into the station, or you can pay us $300. And when you're confronted with a night in a Ukrainian jail, you pay $300 and you make it go away."
Just 300.
Well, that's a lot because the average salary in Ukraine is about $300 a month.
Okay.
So that's a lot.
Wow.
That's their whole month's salary. Crooked cops. And so when people talk about no, the prosecutor was corrupt. Okay, newsflash, folks. Every prosecutor in Ukraine is corrupt. Every judge in Ukraine is corrupt. I partied with them. I have the videos. I was at nightclubs with prosecutors and judges and lawyers. All together. They're all corrupt. You could make any charge in Ukraine go away for a price. So for these people that say, this one was corrupt and this one wasn't, it's all corruption. And there they don't consider it corruption. They just consider it the way that it works. It's just part of the culture. It's not, we think of corruption, it's just the way it works. How much do we have to pay the prosecutor? That's just the way they think over there. And the prosecutors are equally malicious in their corruption. I mean, they'll target you. They'll come for you, and then you have to pay them. So, it's just the way it goes. They play by a different... one of the things, I've done a lot of international travel, Middle East, Eastern Europe mainly, but other parts of the world as well. And one of the things that hits you when you get off the plane and you're like, okay, let's take a breath of fresh air. And maybe you're landing in Moscow at Sheremetyevo and it's -19 outside. But one of the things that hits you is like, okay, these people play by a different set of rules. You go to the UK, you go to France, okay, basically the same. Germany. I mean, you could drive down the road in Germany down the Autobahn and basically if you forget you're in Germany besides the German letters on the signs. You could basically, you just look around, it basically looks like the US.
Okay.
And there's a rule of law. But I mean, you go to Eastern Europe, Transnistria, Moldova, Ukraine, Belarus, you go to these places, I mean, this is they play by a different set of rules. It's lawless. Totally lawless.
Wow. Okay. And was this work with the helping the administration or stuff?
It wasn't part of,
Okay. It was like your own work and...
It wasn't part of, I'm not a government official. I'll just say that.
Okay. All right. And then so what do you...
I feel the energy level's dropping here in the stream. Is it just me or are people streaming off? I feel it.
Well, let's see how many people we got.
We have to kick it up a notch or something.
We got to kick it up a notch. Well, we've actually got a little bit more because see that number is a little lower, but then this number is much higher.
I see. That's good.
So we've actually got a little bit more than we had earlier.
That's fantastic.
I guess people might not be commenting as much as they were.
My gut instinct was wrong.
They're just enjoying. They're just enjoying the show. So all right. Feel free to ask your questions, but I have a question. What do you see yourself doing next? Do you have any interesting scoops that might be coming up that we should, be prepared for?
Well, I would continue to watch Biden. I would really continue to watch Biden. There's going to be a lot more coming out there.
Joe Biden?
Yeah. I mean, I would...
On the Parkinson's
people are like, where's the video of the prosecutor? Blah, blah, blah. It's like...
The prosecutor?
We interviewed the Ukrainian prosecutor that was going to go through.
Oh, yes.
It's like the video's in Russian anyway. It's like people people wouldn't understand it. They would take issue with our translation. So there's no upside for us to really
Who
say.
pays you? Who pays you to go there?
Oh, it's not important. Not important.
Like how, and then in general, how do you fund? Because I've seen a lot of people ask that question too.
It's just self-funded, just internal, just all internal.
Okay, it's all self-funded.
Yeah.
So I mean that must be really expensive because there's a lot of travel involved.
It is, and if you're going to Ukraine, you take
the lawyers, the prosecutors.
If you go to it's very expensive. I mean, just the air travel alone to Ukraine, just for me, was $7,500.
Whoa.
Because if you're going to go to Ukraine, you take business class, Turkish Air. That's the only way to go. I mean, it's a long flight. It's 13 hours and 45 minutes to Istanbul, and then another 2 or 3 hours into Ukraine, whether you go to Kiev or Odessa. I happen to go to Odessa airport. Same back the other way. Enjoy the beach for a few days and then head up to Kiev on the train.
7,500. That's how. That's.
Round trip, yeah. I mean, it's wild.
That's how much Sean Newaldis. What's his name? Sean Newaldis.
One of his sessions, he got paid $7,500. Yeah, yeah, but it's wildly expensive, of course. But once you get in Ukraine, I must say it's a really cheap country. I mean, like, people don't make much money there. So, I mean, for $600 a month, you're living in a really nice apartment.
Okay.
So it's a cheap country once you get in. Once you get there, it's cheap, but it's a lot of work to get there.
Nice. Wow, that must be a lot of. That must be. So what do you see yourself doing in the future? Like, so I know you've got your tips that you're getting now.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see yourself in? This is gonna sound so cliche, but where do you see yourself in the next 5 years or 10 years or like?
Well, in 10 years, I'll probably have a couple of kids. I'm shooting for 8. I think I need to have 8 children.
8 children.
Yeah, I need to reproduce as many as possible. It needs to be like an army of Jacob Wolves out there. Hopefully mostly boys, maybe a couple girls. I could live with a couple girls, but hopefully mostly sons. A couple of kids, same thing, money's, thankfully I'm pretty good at making money, I don't really seek donations and stuff. I mean, it's funny, people use this term grifter. I never heard this term before, like 6 months ago or something. But,
well, you said with the Ukrainian funding, so that was all the Ukrainian stuff. That was all self-funded.
It's all internal. People have made wild accusations that Giuliani was working with us and passing money, blah blah blah. It's just nonsense.
And what does Jack do? What's his?
Well, he's a lobbyist consultant. Very successable.
So he makes his own money, and then he uses that money to fund this.
He's done very well. I mean, he's got various investments. He owns a half a dozen gyms on the West Coast and here in DC. Those do very well. So yeah, he's a very, very successful guy.
Okay. So I'm sure you've been getting backlash here also. What have?
I don't pay attention, to be honest with you. All attention is good attention as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
There's no such thing as backlash.
What about has anyone tried to sue?
Well, we got some stupid cease and desist letter from Kamala Harris today, but that was dumb. That's stupid. If she wants to sue us, she can sue us.
And so did Kamala Harris make a statement about this?
Well, it wasn't a lawsuit. It's
just a cease, just saying
someone
stop.
Served a cease.
Yeah, it's just a cease and desist. She just said stop. Basically, it said stop all of your remarks. Just cease your involvement with Kamala.
So what does that do? Like, what?
Well, it's a warning. It's a warning essentially. It's a legally binding sort of warning, and if we don't stop, then she'll sue us. But we say to Kamala, loudly and clearly, come here to 1599. Take a polygraph. Bring a polygraph expert of your choice. There are a lot of polygraph experts here in Northern Virginia that would be happy to service you and answer our questions.
All right. Okay. Questions. All right. A lot of the conversations are internal, not eternal. All right. Okay. Someone's asking about, like, I don't like to involve family, but someone's asking about, or your family, it's like how do your family feel about?
They're very supportive.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do they know everything? Like, they know, like, what you're about to do or where you're going and stuff like that?
No,
Do they
not
worry
always.
about you?
I keep them abreast as much as possible, but sometimes they don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What kind of a tripod is this? This is a neat kind of lightweight
Oh, this is my
tripod.
tripod.
What kind is this?
I just bought this last week. It goes up really high, actually.
I see.
Well, like your
It's
question
pretty
was
good.
saying, since you brought it, like your dad has Twitter. I mean, he's verified on Twitter. He's pretty popular. How does he feel about your efforts with Jack?
Very supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw his cover photo is you, him, and Donald Trump. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
He just
interesting.
He just saw Trump recently in New Hampshire, with Corey Lewandowski.
How do you feel about Trump's ethics? Right, like has Trump cheated in your mind? Stormy Daniels, all those kinds of accusations.
No, I mean Trump is a peak alpha male, and people, oh, that's funny, haha, But let's be real. The guy's a billionaire. He ran for president. He won. He shoots guns. He plays golf. I mean, how can you be any more of an alpha male than that guy? I mean, really, seriously. And people can say it's an illusion or whatever, but it is what it is. And for a guy like that to have, to have extramarital partners is not at all surprising. It's not at all, in my view, it's just not noteworthy, frankly. But when you talk about a woman running for president, I mean, we can say that there's a glass ceiling. We can say that it's all institutionalized sexism, but maybe there's a very good reason that women, in terms of being president, they're 0 for 45. 0 for 45. Okay? Maybe that's because the American people are just dummies. Half of them are women, by the way. Or maybe it's because there are real concerns.
The half of dummies are women. Oops.
Well, that would be your assumption, right? I mean, if you asked a liberal, why haven't there been any women presidents, they say the American people are stupid and sexist. Well, half of the American people are women. So...
Well, maybe
or more
it's
than
not
half. A
because
little
they
bit
were
more than half,
dummies.
actually, if you go by the stats. A little bit more than half.
Maybe it's not because they were dummies, but because they didn't run for president.
Oh, there's been plenty of
I
opportunity.
think it's smart to not run for president, personally.
There's been plenty of opportunity. I mean, to run for president, women could have run any time in the last, 100 years.
So you're saying that it's fine
If Susan B. Anthony wanted to be president, she could be president.
The first electoral college vote was won by a libertarian candidate. 1972, there was a libertarian candidate who had a vice president who was female. 1972. That was the first female electoral college vote. That was just a little fun fact for your live stream.
Fun fact.
Third
1972.
party. Gotta plug that libertarian party.
Yeah, that's a real mess. I got you. It
Fair
is.
enough.
It's a mess. It's a mess. I mean, it's too bad. It's too bad, but it's a mess.
But yeah, I mean, let's see. Anybody have any questions? Okay.
What did they say?
You have anything that you'd like to add? So people are very skeptical, is what I would say in the comments. They're very skeptical. They're very upset. What would you say to those people that are skeptical? Maybe you could bring out more.
Let's bring some fun questions in. These questions are so serious. It's late at night. I think we need some fun questions.
What would you say before first is work, then play.
All right.
So what would you say to those serious
I'll answer
comments?
that, and then we'll go fun. We have to go fun. This is just it's too dry. It's too morose at this time of night. No, I would say this. I would say, let's talk about Liz Warren. This woman lied about her very ethnicity for 40 years. This is a woman who wrote a book called Pow Wow Chow by Elizabeth Warren.
Did she?
She did.
For real?
It's a Native American cookbook. She really did write a Native American cookbook called Pow Wow Chow. Pow Wow Chow. I want to just go to an Elizabeth Warren rally and just start the chant. Pow Wow Chow. I want to start it. No, she did. This is a woman who lied about her very ethnicity for years and years and years, including on documents that were under oath, like her bar card, like loan applications. I mean, you name it. She lied through her teeth. And so, do we trust the woman who did Pow Wow Chow, or do we trust the Marine male escort? I'll leave that up to you. You can decide. I choose to trust the Marine male escort.
But people don't know the Marine male escort.
Well,
he could
they
have
don't
totally been coming and fabricating.
They don't
things.
know much about Elizabeth Warren either. I mean, they don't know her. Believe me, we know she's fabricated stuff for sure. We're sure about that. Now, on the other hand, we have Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was an unethical, dirty cop for years, kept people locked up in jail, bragged about it, laughed about it. She's bought off by corporate America. She's gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars in campaign donations from Google and Facebook and every other major Fortune 50 company. And she's totally bought and paid for completely. She lies about being a descendant of slavery when in reality her own grandmother owned slaves in Jamaica. So this is Kamala Harris. Now I would ask people, do we believe Kamala Harris or do we believe her personal trainer? Again, people can decide. I believe her personal trainer. So as to the skepticism, I would just ask people to kind of, take a scoreboard of who's more credible, and I think that they will come out on the side of our clients.
Oh, the viewers.
Yeah, the viewers. I would ask them to just weigh the pros and cons.
All right.
Jacob, what's your response to that kid who went up to you and asked for a
Thanks for the
selfie and
compliment.
then said she's 17 years old?
Oh, yeah, so-
that's
so-
just
What was
stupid.
that all about? She seemed to.
That's
it
just
became
stupid
kind of a
stuff.
viral tweet.
Some girls said, let's take a selfie.
They
I
had a
said, sure.
presser today. I don't know if did we mention that?
Yeah,
They
some
had a
some
they
some
had a
blonde girl
presser
said,
today.
let's take a selfie. I said, sure, come on up. And she said, I'm only 17. It's like, okay, and you're taking a selfie. It's okay, fine.
So the words I'm looking at the tweet thing. She said it was.
Is
you
she
apparently
really
said
17?
because it's only because she's a cute blonde.
Yeah, I said only because you're a cute blonde. Come on up,
Right.
take a selfie.
Was she really 17?
And then you called people pussies if they accused you of misogynism.
Yeah,
Right.
because only male feminists would accuse me of misogynism as it relates to that comment, and those
Right.
people are, they are what they're.
So
pussies,
so
She
speaking
ended
of
up getting 1,434 likes on the actual picture of the selfie.
That's
Her
amazing.
caption, Lily Thedders says, Jacob Wall let me take a photo with him because I'm a, in quotes, cute blonde, end quote.
That's true. Cute blondes can always take a photo with me.
Anything else to add on that?
No, I mean
I think she was trying to trick you.
I don't.
Right?
Well, no. If she had said, "Can I take a picture with you?" By the way, I'm 17. I still would have said, "Sure, whatever." Anyone can take a photo with me. I don't care.
Right.
okay. Also,
Yes.
I have a personal question because I'm apparently the only girl here. So you're saying that if Kamala Harris were to pay someone to have sex, that's not okay, but if Trump paid to have sex, that's okay.
Yes.
Why?
I already explained it. I mean, Trump is a guy. Kamala's a woman.
So if a woman pays to have sex, it's not okay, but if a
Yeah.
guy pays to have sex, okay.
Yeah, Trump's a peak alpha male. Kamala Harris is a woman. She should be loyal to her husband.
So Trump shouldn't be loyal to his wife.
Depends who you ask. But there's a lot more flexibility for a man as it relates to that. I mean, this is all
So-
hormonal stuff. This is oxytocin. This is just the way
No,
brains work. This
it's
is,
like people want to do all sorts of shitty things.
Right. Well, I think that people can look at Kamala's conduct as it relates to our client, and they'll be
So
very
if you
unimpressed.
told a girl, like, it's okay if I cheated and had affairs with a bunch of people, but it's not okay if you did that, would a girl want to date you?
Depends on the girl. I'd say about 5 out of 10 would say no, and about 5 out of 10 would say yes, in my personal experience, having been through that conversation.
And they were fine.
Yeah, about 5 out of 10.
They
sure.
were like, it's okay if you cheat, but it's not fine if I cheat.
Right.
Okay. Personally, I would not be okay with
Well, you don't know. I mean, you don't know until you're in that situation, and, then you can decide. But it's not you have to decide in the moment. It's just one of those things. It's a gut feeling thing.
So, I mean, is it that it's immoral or it's not natural?
It's both.
So is it being...
I mean, Pardes, we're talking about the commander-in-chief here. We're not talking about somebody auditioning for American Idol. This is a big deal. And if Kamala's going to be hormonally out of whack, if she's going to be inviting male escorts to the White House, that's a big deal.
I mean, but women are sexual. Like, as a woman, I can say that. Women are sexual. It's not just men are sexual. And that's it.
Yeah, they are.
So women would, I'm sure.
No, I mean, come on. Kamala Harris has whored around for years. I mean, she sucked off her boss to get a political appointment, and this is all public record, and it is what it is. She's a high-level, basically political prostitute. Everyone knows this. This is publicly reported. This is admitted by Willie Brown.
Who's Willie Brown?
Willie Brown was the mayor of San Francisco. He's a high-level California Democrat, and she engaged in an affair with Willie Brown in order to be appointed to a role that paid $200,000 a year that she was not qualified for.
Do you know who Willie Brown is?
No comment.
You know who
Willie Brown is?
He's the mayor of San
I've
Francisco.
heard of this story, but I'm
Yeah,
not-
no, the story's well known. Willie Brown admitted it in San Francisco. In a column, he admitted it.
I was just laughing at him.
He admitted it. It's true. So, what can you say? He admitted it.
I'll look it up. All right. Questions. What's FGM?
What?
Oh, okay. I know what that is.
What?
Not Fiji, FGM. I don't know.
Oh,
See,
we're
my
not
brain.
going to talk about that.
My
That's
brain
too,
isn't working.
That's too graphic.
All right. So I'm just looking at the comments in case it looks creepy, like I'm staring at you. That's what it is. This is live stream is almost going to be over. By the way, thanks guys for joining. This is really cool, and thank you Jacob for coming on this. This is so cool because normally I don't get this many viewers. Normally I get like much fewer viewers.
Is this a good number or is this a pretty good number?
It's pretty good for me.
That's
It's
great.
pretty good for me. So we normally we have what I call it the family, because we have our YouTube viewers. We see each other every night. It's great. I love them. Here's Joe. We've got a bunch of people, and I know their names because they're here every night. And so normally it's we've got our little crew, but tonight we've got a nice number of
nice group, yeah.
of other. Okay, so all right. Any other questions? Any other questions, guys? Not comments. Questions. No comments. All right. Okay. All right. If you have no more questions, someone is asking, what do you do?
Kick ass and take names.
What is it?
Kick ass and take names.
Kick ass and take names. Also, someone asked if you would, and it sounds like a joke, but it's actually a pretty good question. If you were to give somebody a wedgie, who would you do it to?
I wouldn't do that. I don't believe in bullying.
Well, I mean, it's the idea of like who's your least favorite person, basically.
No, I don't believe in bullying. I don't hate anyone.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, I don't hate people too. It's like
No,
I don't
not
hate
good. You don't want to
too.
hate people. It's just destructive.
It affects you and your soul like
I
more
agree.
than anybody else. Okay, someone is asking what type of girl do you like?
Mostly I go for kind of 5'7" to 5'10", Eastern European, age 19 to 21, typically.
Okay, 5'7", 5'10", Eastern European, age 19 to 21.
Nothing too crazy. I mean, good family helps, but not the end of the world.
All right. Okay. What about the politics? Does she have to have like an ideology?
Oh, I mean, women in politics are very flexible. I mean, most women are not strongly convicted in terms of politics that I meet. I mean, this is just the way it goes. And most women are not you, Pardes. I mean, most women have very loose beliefs in terms of their politics. And I have found that after 2 dates or 3 dates, you can convert just about anyone to being a Trump-loving conservative. Most people say Netflix and chill. I say InfoWars and chill. And it's just the way it goes. I mean, I'm confident that if I could have 3 dates with AOC...
Joe says you haven't met Steph.
I'd have her on Team Trump. Haven't met who?
Steph.
Don't know who that is. Who's Steph?
He hasn't officially met Steph.
Who's Steph?
Steph is our friend. She comes on the live stream sometimes. So that's how they know who she is.
Oh.
So she comes on the live stream. She's very much to the left.
She's
So
hardcore left.
Hardcore left.
She was a leader in the
you're here and
anti-Kavanaugh
she's
protests.
there. Huh?
She was a leader in the anti-Kavanaugh protest.
Well, I'm not saying I want to date her. I don't know what she looks like, but a couple of dates with me, I guarantee you she'd be, or a couple guys, any number of guys I know.
It's not Steph, not Steph.
Definitely Steph.
Steph is like just the one person I would just.
The girls who are most vociferous are actually the easiest in terms of converting them to conservative. Because they're passionate, they want to know the truth, but they've just been misinformed, they're misguided.
So why not the guys who are very passionate? Why wouldn't they be converted easily?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a homosexual, so I don't know how that would work in terms of dating them and converting them. So.
All right. Joe says he would make a bet on that.
On Steph, on AOC, on
Someone
who?
is asking plastic or paper straws.
I don't, the biggest problem I have with the paper straws is they stick to your lips. Other than that, I don't really mind.
Someone is asking about, actually a few people, like 2 or 3 people have so far asked about a boxing match with William Legate. What's that all about?
Oh, I don't know. That guy messaged me and said he wanted to do a boxing match, and then I said, dude, fine, just wherever you want. Just send me the date, send me the time, and he refused to, so I don't think it's happening, but we'll see. I'm happy to do it, but I don't think it's going to come together.
Would you message him back and be like...
No, I did. I said, dude, just please,
Yeah.
whatever.
And
Just send me the time, send me the
left
place, and he just won't. get back
Okay,
to me.
guys, message William Legate. We want to see this. He's not.
I don't even know how that would work in terms of weight classes and stuff. He's a very diminutive guy. He's very small.
Yeah, he's a small guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Someone is asking about Ukrainian women.
They're the best in the world.
Someone is saying, Dancing with the Stars calls. Would you answer?
Yes.
All right. And then you would dance with the Ukrainian women.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I wouldn't be the dancer, so I think it's random who they assign you to.
Okay. All right. Anything else we'd like to add?
I don't know. I think we've covered it. We're not trending, but we're close. I really wanted to be trending, but I don't think we're going to do. It's just a tough time. It's a tough time of night. You've got playoff baseball. It's very tough. It's very tough.
It's fine. We'll get this. We'll get this going. We'll get this. We'll share this a little bit.
It's very tough. It's very tough to trend.
All right, guys,
all
get this
baseball
trending. Okay. All right. So no, we'll get this. We'll share this a bunch. And we've got this. This is recording on YouTube, so this is staying. This is gonna stay on YouTube, so that's great. Everybody, thank you for joining. See you all tomorrow night. Subscribe on YouTube, okay? Because that's if we don't do a Periscope live stream, we're always gonna be doing YouTube. That's our place that we're always gonna be at. So definitely go over to YouTube. It's in my profile. The link to YouTube is in my profile of my Twitter account. So subscribe there, like the video, and see you all tomorrow night. Say goodnight to Jacob. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right.